And we are now live. The November 28th, 2014 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Just me and you today, Dennis.
Looks like it so far. What happened to Larry?
I invited him again. I don't know what happened.
So is the QuickBooks desktop certification exam available yet? Have you checked?
I have not checked. I thought it was December 3rd that they said.
Well, I know that I think the advanced QBO certification is going to be in early December, I thought.
The advanced, yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Although I don't know that I'm looking forward to that. There is a Facebook group of people getting together, collaborating with the QuickBooks Online Advanced Test. I mean, of course, they're saying they don't want the answers posted, but they're allowing people to work together and focus on problems that they're having. And people are saying it's a tough one. 26 modules also.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not, QuickBooks is becoming less and less a part of my practice, with taxes increasing. Right. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to devote to it. I've got a lot of other stuff I need to be working on.
Right, right. It's getting to be that time of year for you.
Yeah, if the game is worth the candle, so to speak.
Right, exactly. Well, I've been working with QuickBooks Online. There are some things. It is getting better. It is getting easier for me, but there are still things that make me crazy about it. And I really wanted to have some people's opinions and go over something I discovered. I wanted to talk about it last week, but we really didn't have time. So it was the week before. I had a new client call me and wanted to start out with QuickBooks Online. They were, a small solopreneur and seemed like a good fit for them. And I get the Intuit notices that QuickBooks Online sale and, all of that. So I clicked on that. I sent him an invitation. He was able to log on, create his account, and when I got there to do my setup and training with him, he was all ready to go. But one of the things, let me see if I can share my screen. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Doesn't look like it's showing the screen I want it to. Giving me the Hangouts. But it's not giving me, I can't start the sample company. I have to already be in it because it'll show my client list, and I really don't want to do that. Let me see if I can start it on this. Try starting it again and see what happens. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, pretty good. I went to my sister's. I seem to have done something to my screen that I don't see you anymore.
I'm trying to.
Because I just don't have this.
Here, but it's giving me a blank screen.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try opening it up. I have my own a different profile set up for QuickBooks Online so that I can always clear the cookies if I need to. But it doesn't seem like it wants to bring that window up for me. And I forget what the new, I don't even keep that in the log on for QuickBooks Online. Office it into it or into it. Oh, I see you now, Dennis.
Yeah, I did something. Like I say, it doesn't really have the same controls that I have on my desktop, so.
Okay. I'm still going to try and bring this up and see if I can. My, my. Okay, it's office.intuit.com. And nothing is remembering anything. My Google is, well, because I'm on a different profile. See if I can come up. And also, on the Accountants Edition of the QBOA, I have listed in my clients sample databases. That's not where you need to go to get the sample database. You need to go to the Help, and then from there, QuickBooks Online Sample Company.
Huh.
Again, it's something I'd love to be able to share with you, but I really don't want to share my,
Right.
yeah, I don't want to share my client list.
Yeah, I understand. Some people might be watching. Yeah. Bad deal. I mean, or
I don't know if we're going to go in the wormhole here. That's what it looks like is going to happen. Yep. Okay. Frustrates me to not be able to share my screen. I've tried this before.
huh.
Choose what you'd like to share there. I would like to choose what's there. Can't do it. Anyway, I guess I'll have to do it without sharing screen. So, new client, brand new client, never used either QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online is what we're learning. I had them set up. I went through the chart of accounts. I went through the item list. We're all ready to go. He had some invoices that we could try out. So we go to the Quick Create button and click on Invoices and start entering invoices. And he says to me, there's no place to enter an invoice number. Where do we enter invoice numbers? And there was indeed no place to enter invoice numbers. I had to go to Settings, and then in Settings, and they're very, very different than they used to be on the QuickBooks Online. From Settings, the gear and Settings, hang on a second, and then to Company Settings. From there, Sales, customize the look and feel of your invoice.
Jeez.
And then the More tab, and there's a checkbox to use custom transaction numbers. You have to go through all of that to get invoice numbers on your invoices.
Yeah, no one's gonna remember all those steps.
Yeah, but who would decide to default the program to not using invoice numbers? Do you know anybody in America that does not use invoice numbers on their invoices? Why would you set that as the default?
Would they expect QuickBooks to create the invoice number?
Yes, I would. You know, just like the regular desktop.
But you think you have to have a number someplace, you would think.
You have to actually go into the settings, go into Customize Invoice, and then click on the More tab to turn it on. Now, I don't know who makes these decisions and what engineer that would decide that this is a good idea, but he ought to be smacked, and his supervisor that said it was okay ought to be smacked.
You know, it's almost like they've got all these different little teams that are responsible for different little pieces, and they don't necessarily get together and say, okay, from a total interface standpoint.
They don't do that, and do they actually use the program? You know, I can see invoice numbers not being an issue if you have 5 customers and you always bill a different amount. But if you have hundreds of customers and bill the same amount like you're supposed to do with the value billing, it could be a nightmare.
Well, you would think, and like I've done beta testing of software, and usually what you'll do is that they'll give you the beta software and let you bang on it and see if you can break it and see if, like for example, Microsoft, I did some beta testing about 15 years ago, and they put you in a room that's got a one-way mirror where they can watch you, and they give you a list of tasks to do, and you're supposed to be thinking out loud your mental process as to what methodology or what logic you're using to solve this problem. And so I would think that Intuit would have done some kind of beta testing to say, okay, how would you go about creating an invoice and start
necessary fields?
Where would you look and do that with numerous people and see is there any kind of consensus as to where people would logically I'd give this to probably both accountants and non-accountants and see what kind of difference there was.
Absolutely, one would think that would be what one would do, but it doesn't appear that happened in this case. Looks like it was just thrown in there by somebody who arbitrarily made the decision. He certainly didn't ask any accountants, or if they did, they didn't listen to the answers.
You would think that in the first time setup, when you were to set up the company, when you get to customers, do you use invoices? If so, do you use invoice numbers kind of thing?
Absolutely.
And it would. I think that would be that kind of a methodology that they would use to, at least set up the preferences so that, or ask me later and have it in the help section of having the help section of like creating invoices, or make it context sensitive, like on the invoice page. How do you create an invoice number kind of thing?
Something, anything. I don't know. They're either not beta testing these type of things, or they're beta testing the wrong people.
Yeah, well, I gotta imagine they're probably under a certain amount of pressure trying to get all this to market and try to get on top of zero.
Yeah, that's true, but still, don't take away things that are working. If it's working, leave it alone. Work on the problems that are not working, like customer search.
You would think, what I would do is that I would go in, before I even did the online, was I'd map out all the functionality of the desktop and then try to correlate it to what I would do online, and then there should be some gaps in there as to some functionality that you don't have online you do on the desktop, and maybe vice versa, and so you would know where the gaps are, and so you could try to figure out how do I either develop that functionality or at least compensate for it.
The problem is these little changes come so fast that you don't know it until you're doing something, and you're there live in front of a client, and they've gone and changed the way that they do things.
And that's always kind of embarrassing. Like,
yeah.
I thought you knew this program.
Right. Yeah, I'm an expert. I know this program well.
Yeah, they changed it all. I mean, at least that was the thing with the desktop. At least once they usually didn't make a lot of changes in midstream, whereas with the online, like Google and the whole bit, they make changes and you don't really realize there's changes made until you try to do something, you can't do it, or
exactly.
Hangouts, they always change it.
Stop trying to surprise us like that. It doesn't help. Does not help.
So, where's Misha? Is she?
I have no idea. I guess everybody is at Thanksgiving. We've got some viewers. You know what? I should try and look and see if I can see anybody trying to get in or saying they're sitting on the outside. I don't see anything. I see nothing on my events, people that said that they were going to be here or not. We lost Larry. I expected James. He had some things to talk about. But it could be one of those Google things. And I've invited people again, too. Oh, here's our Linda.
Good.
Did you have a hard time getting in, Linda?
I did. I couldn't. Part of what happened, I actually have been trying to get in for about 20 minutes, but I couldn't tell if we're having one or not. I haven't been in my Gmail email for a week. So I had like 500 emails, and I'm kind of scrolling through and that, trying to find stuff, and I couldn't find out if there was one or not. Dennis had sent something like, "Are we having a hangout this week?" And I didn't know whether that was to...
That's for me. Seth canceled his this morning. Yeah.
Oh,
It was early in California, and I guess Sarah was saying she had a turkey hangover, so Seth canceled his. But I must have sent out invites at least 10 times to you personally.
Well, I wasn't here until about 5 minutes after 2:30, so I was here at 2:35, and so I probably missed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a Quicken client, and it was very frustrating. I don't like to work in Quicken, but I was pretty sure I could help him, and I could have, except that he has all these interesting quirks.
Don't all of our clients?
He's just like the rest of us, son of a gun. Yeah, he had like all these EFTs left from 2011 and 2012 and 2013,
Wow.
and they'd never cleared his bank account. And I said, "You need to zero these." "Oh no, we can't do that." Well, you know they didn't really. Yes, I know they didn't really happen. It had to do with, that's how he keeps a cushion in his account. Whatever those are, see, then he's, it's like a savings account, and then he's okay.
Right.
And he has to.
QuickBooks to get rid of that Quicken?
I did. I told him it'll be a lot easier with QuickBooks, and I explained to him about how there is no owner investment or owner draw in Quicken. So, and but he's a little bit on the obsessive compulsive side, so he reconciles everything every month. But you know, he has like 24 transactions that he's got entered there that never cleared. They did not clear, and at this point, they're not ever going to clear.
And they hit his expense account, so they were recorded as expenses.
Right, and he's done his own taxes. He's a sole proprietor, and he has TurboTax, so he just exports it. So it was like, I finally, after an hour, I said, "You know what? I can't help you, because it's just," he has something like 15 years of data and 5 gigs of data.
Wow, in Quicken.
And he wonders why it's taking forever to back up. I mean, it takes 30 minutes to back up. And I said, "Well, you know, you could," he says, "and I know I reconciled it, and now there's all these things I reconciled, they're unreconciled." I said, "Well, the program is not able to deal with such a large file."
Right, right. It's time to move up to QuickBooks.
Yeah, I said it's
move up to an accountant, too.
Yeah, so anyway, I showed him how he could make a year-end copy in that, but God only knows. He actually keeps his handwritten check registers, and all of those EFTs that didn't clear in 2011 and 12 and 13, he in his mind, he needs to handwrite them back into his check register, the pencil one, and add them back in.
In case they ever go through 3 years later.
Well, they won't, and he knows.
Right. I know. But
I said, you know, if you want to have a cushion, I get that. A lot of people want a cushion. So you maybe make a cushion of $222.22, because when you look at that, you say, you know what, there's something wrong with that number. That's not a real number. So you know, so you know, okay, so I've got an extra $200 cushion or something. But yeah, it just was. It was like too many quirks all together in one place.
Sounds like he is his own worst enemy to his own growth.
He also said he's underpaid his taxes.
He's underpaid his taxes, absolutely, by whatever that amount that he's overstated the expenses.
Well, he still hasn't reconciled his account right. What happened is he reconciled the bank account in August, but when I show that reconciliation report, it shows he reconciled it wrong. That he put in a balance at the end of the month that wasn't what the bank statement said, because when you look at it, it's not right. It's off by like $523. So then he validated something, and then the validation thing told him he had to fix all this stuff, so he fixed it. Well, when he fixed it, he undid he screwed up his reconciliation by $523. So, you know.
Yeah, you can't work with them if they're not willing. See, here's the thing.
And then he wasn't willing to let me do anything. So
right. If you're having problems and things are not working right, don't keep doing the same things. You will have the same problems, and the same things won't work right. In order to make them work right, you've got to change and do things differently.
I know. Well, within the first 3 minutes, I told him that. I said, you know, I'll leave right now and you won't get charged anything. But I said, you have to listen to me. You can't just say, oh, no, I don't do it that way. Because we know already that your way has
not correct.
It's not the way you want it to be. That's why you called me. You know?
Right.
I said,
right. You know there's a problem. Let's work on it together.
Yes. And I was telling him, when you go to reconcile your bank account and the beginning bank statement does not match what QuickBooks has, you know right away you have to stop. You are not, there's no way you can change that beginning bank balance. You can't highlight it and type in a new one. That doesn't work. You have to go back to the previous month that you did right and redo it again. And then it will put the right beginning balance in the next month when you go to it. So, but I never was able to finish that with him because there were too many things he couldn't do. So.
And he was probably unwilling to purchase a new software that would cost money.
Yeah, and I don't know. He had Quick in 2013.
Okay. Okay.
And he said his computer was fairly new. It was a laptop. So that's all right. It was important to him that he needed to do all these kind of obsessive compulsive things before he moved on to take my advice. I think he will take my advice on some of the stuff, but I don't know. He really needs QuickBooks. He's got Quicken for home and business, and he thinks that's good enough. The neat thing is he's scanning everything in. He's attaching all his receipts. See, and part of it is he has all these receipts that he's used his debit card, and he doesn't understand why they haven't come through. I said, well, it's not your fault they haven't come through. If they haven't come through, they haven't come through, so just erase them.
They haven't charged his credit card for him yet.
I don't know. Maybe they had a problem with their machine. I don't know. He says there's one place where he gets gas. They never charge his card. I said, well, I'd keep going there.
They're not going to stay in business very long, are they?
No, so how cold is it where you are, Gina?
It's starting to get chilly again. We had a little bit of a snowstorm on Wednesday. We had rain and snow mix and all that kind of fun stuff. We got about 4 inches.
Okay.
The worst day of the year, the biggest travel day, was awful weather-wise here on the East Coast.
Right.
But yesterday was nice. Yesterday the roads ended up just being wet, you know, and so when it warmed up a little bit, travel wasn't too bad. But I think we're getting down below freezing again tonight, significantly below freezing tonight. So another cold one. It is winter, and here we go.
It is. That it is. So I wonder how Nancy Smythe is doing.
I think she's all tucked in warm with her new stove, knitting her little sock dolls and her little
I think
yes. So I think Nancy's doing, and you know what she said? She was having a pizza Thanksgiving party.
Oh, I like that. Pizza.
That's right. That's right.
Excellent idea.
Yep. Be a little bit different. One of the things I like about Nancy.
Yes, yes. So, anyway, well, no, I'm glad. Actually, I did pretty well this month. Although I'm wondering if I should go drive for Uber. They're guaranteeing that if you drive for Uber, you make $5,000 a month.
What's a Uber?
Oh, it's like a fake taxi.
Oh yeah, and, they were trying to get under this one tech writer that's made it on the news.
Uber is a fake taxi. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's like people like Dennis and I want to make extra money, so we use our cars to drive people around. And there's a little app, and it shows where the guy is that he's coming to pick you up and drive you somewhere.
Okay. But I don't know how they get around all of the taxi whatever licenses and
It's a good question. I don't know either.
requirements, because you know we've had that around here where I live. I am right outside of the Amish community.
Ah, yes.
And there are many people that drive for the Amish. And I always said jokingly that if I didn't have enough money through my business and what I was doing, I was going to go drive the Amish.
There
Easy
you go.
money.
I know some sociopath isn't using Uber to be picking up victims.
Oh, no.
I don't think that's happened yet because I haven't seen anything on it.
Oh, no, that's scary. Well, with the Amish community, they don't have internet and all of that, but you would be amazed at how quickly information gets around in that community. For people that don't drive and people that don't talk on the phone, boy, they know everything about everybody. And
Yeah.
so, and that's how you get in as a driver. You know somebody that's doing it, and you recommend them to the Amish that need it, and you start picking up clients. You don't do anything with newspapers. You don't do anything with
Right.
social media. You don't do any of that. It's completely word of mouth.
Well, how do they let you know if they don't use a telephone? How do they let you know?
Well, they do actually allow, like a lot of the places have a telephone at the end of their driveway, which could be a mile away, by the way.
No, I know. I'm aware.
Or in the barn. You're allowed to have telephones for work.
But, you know, the horses, they might get sick or something. You got to have the vet. But see, to me, that seems kind of a little bit odd in that you're against cars, you're against electricity and that, and yet,
You use it when you need it.
yeah.
They have their own quirks and their own ways, and they listen to their bishop, and if the bishop approves it, then you're good. If the bishop does not. But the other thing is they all have their own little communities, and some are traditional Amish, and then you've got all the way to like the Mennonites, which allow them to wear regular dresses. You just have that little thing on your head, the covering, right, little veil-looking thing.
Yeah.
And you are allowed to drive. Some people are allowed to drive, but not have shiny bumpers or chrome on their car anywhere. They have to have it all blacked out. Some people
I
don't.
wish that all the bumpers were rubber like they used to be, because then when you bumped somebody, you wouldn't have to pay $800 to paint it and make it new again.
Right. So they all have their each little rules and regulations.
yeah.
And usually the trips for the Amish are you're taking a bunch of the women to Walmart to go shopping, or, you know, things like that.
Right.
So, but they actually, if you want to do it legally, you actually have to have a taxi license.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know how they get around stuff like that.
With the Uber.
Looking at it online. But sometimes you get overcharged. Somebody the other day was charged like $150 on their credit card to go from Pasadena to Rancho Cucamonga, and he thought he had been told 80, and so that was like twice as much money as he'd been told. So
We lost Dennis now. This
oh,
has been something of a hangout, I'll tell you.
he just fell off.
Well, I can't think that he's getting his son. I would hope he would have off school today.
Oh yeah, maybe something with his daughter, but it's only 3 o'clock.
Hmm.
So
Or maybe something with his tablet. He said that he didn't have internet today. Yeah, he's
oh,
having.
here he is. He's back.
Okay.
He's back.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just said that my Hangout stopped and I get disconnected. So
Oh, so you just came back on. Good. We were concerned.
Crazy, crazy. So, Linda, last week you said you got a new computer. Tell us about that.
What did you say?
Last week you said you got a new computer and you wanted to talk about that.
Oh, I did get a new computer. And I should have waited. I should have bought one from Dell. Well, I had talked to a guy that had built me, a local IT computer guy, really nice guy and honest and all that. But he had built me one like 5 years ago, and then after 2 or 3 years, the hard disk crashed, and so I had him put a new hard drive in, and he gave me Windows 7 Professional like about 3 years ago, and a new hard drive, and but it was 32-bit, and I knew it was getting slower and slower, and I knew I needed to get a new computer, and I really kind of want to wait for Windows 10, so, right. But I knew I really probably shouldn't and couldn't with the desktop, so I just told him I wanted a new desktop. Well, he made me one like in 2 days.
Wow, nice.
But it was $871, which is a little more than I wanted to. But it's got 8 gigs of memory, and it's. So let me go look and tell you what the processor is. If I go to Control Panel and a System, it's a 5. It's an i5.
Okay. So you still have Windows 7 on your new computer.
It is an Intel Core i5 44440 CPU at 3.1 gigahertz. So an 8 gigs of RAM, and it's just I went to the 64-bit operating system.
Right, right.
Because now they have drivers out. 3 years ago, they didn't have all that many drivers out for
the 64-bit, right?
Yeah.
So this is still Windows 7 for you?
I'm still using Windows 7 Professional, but I went 64-bit instead of 32. This laptop I'm on here, and I should be able to actually now to do the Hangout over on the desktop.
Nice.
So I may try that next week, because now I have speakers that work there.
Oh, nice, nice.
QuickBooks works fast. Yeah, they transferred all the data over for me. That took like about 2 hours.
Wow, nice.
Well, I waited and picked it up, and then I loaded the QuickBooks and Act, and they had loaded Office on there for me. So, and then I downloaded it. I did my antivirus ESET's not 32. That I did first before I did anything. Oh, he had put on Microsoft Security Essentials, so I had to just get ESET's not 32, disable Microsoft Security Essentials, and get my ESET going. And then I had to also download Adobe Reader. But I decided I wasn't going to put a lot of extra stuff on my computer.
Right, right. My next computer is going to be a desktop. I still hate, beyond words, my Windows 8 laptop. It has. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love to hate it.
Well, you got it at a time when that's what everybody has to get now. If they don't, I think Dell is still selling a few more Windows 7 Professionals, but for business.
But I want to wait for the Windows 10 before I get it to desktop. Dennis has another idea, though. He's talking about a laptop and a Chromebook.
A laptop and a what?
it's a Chromebook is a laptop.
Oh, well, it's a Chromebook. It really just does everything on the internet, though. You can't run programs on it unless they're out on the internet.
Well, most of my stuff is online. I mean,
Okay.
QBO Zero, my Workflow Max, my
Right.
Zoho,
That's
my
right.
my IntuitTax Online.
Yep.
There's very, the only thing I really use on the desktop now is, well, the QuickBooks desktop files and occasionally Microsoft Office. But I'm thinking of maybe, using the Google Office or Google Docs, the
Yes.
spreadsheet, as kind of a replacement.
You could do that. The other thing is you can get your QuickBooks desktop posted online.
Yeah, I suppose you could do
That's
that.
$50 a user for that.
Or I'm at,
The hosted.
Well,
So I-
Cloud9's got a really good deal today. It's Black Friday, so.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dennis. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the only thing that I really needed, if I could get a Chromebook that I could use with a projector or a smartphone as a projector, that would be the main reason I'd want it. And then, like I was telling Gina, I don't have any internet connectivity. Now, the only thing that's keeping me connected is my little MiFi. This is my
Okay.
connection to the internet. So I'm on a 7-inch tablet that's got a little keyboard that you can attach to it, but it's not something you could really comfortably do any kind of work on.
Absolutely not.
My Chromebook, at least I could probably do some work,
Right.
ITO and Zero and, and Smart Vault and the whole bit.
Do you have a desktop, Dennis?
I got two of them.
You have two of them?
I'm thinking about
Why
getting
don't you have an internet then? I mean, I'm sorry.
my internet's down. I thought I could get this DNS. They can't find the DNS server, and so it's not finding the websites. And so I got a new router, and that didn't fix anything. And then,
Well, what about the OpenDNS that Sarah's husband told us about last week?
well, I can't even get to the internet now. So what I'm not sure if the modem's going bad. So I've got a replacement modem coming in early next week.
Well, do you pay somebody money for the internet?
No, I think it's probably part of my Comcast cable bill.
Right, so you have
Okay, then you
Comcast.
do pay Comcast for it.
Yeah, I get-
Comcast, don't they give you the router modem?
Yeah, but see, it's kind of at the end of its service life, and I'm getting a new one. I mean, finally, after the third or fourth letter, I responded about upgrading my modem, and so I'm not sure if that's the problem, or if when I ran the router, because I had a what do you want to call it, a network that had been set up, and now I can't seem to find that. So I'm not sure if I hosed that. So I'm not sure if it's because my network connection's all screwed up, or if it's because of the modem. So I'm hoping that my IT guy, I hope I get a hold of him on Monday or Tuesday, have him come out and look at the. But for right now, I'm kind of making do with this little MiFi, and I can get to it with my tablet, and I can do these kind of things, but it's not something that I can really comfortably work on. Since I do most of my work online, it's really a major
problem when you can't get online.
It really is. It's like, it's my lifeline, and I'm kind of, like I say, rather than cruising the internet, I'm trying to get by on a tricycle, trying to, function, but it's not working very well. I guess I need shades or something. I don't know.
I would usually, if you have internet as part of your Comcast package, you should have a customer service number you can call, and then you talk to them on the phone. I'm with Time Warner Cable, so I have a different company, but they have always been extremely helpful, and all I have to do is walk in with my old modem router to their little storefront that's like one city away, and I turn that in and I get a new one. And there's no charge.
And apparently, I ordered it over the phone, and so it's supposed to take 3 to 5 business days, and so I'm hoping I get it sometime next week. But I need to find out from my IT guy, did I hose my network when I set up the modem?
Right.
If that works, then if I set up the, if he comes out and fixes the network again, if I get a new modem, which I need to swap out, am I going to do the same thing? And I don't want to be paying.
Usually you don't. Usually it gets installed on your network.
And Dennis, I want to say this about Comcast. Around here, Comcast upgraded their billing system. There were many people that were kicked off their internet and spent days waiting for the service to come out to the house and fix it. So that's something that might have happened to you also.
But what was weird was that first one computer went, and then I still had connectivity on the other, so I didn't know if it was that particular computer. Because it was working, something that wasn't working in terms of getting to the websites. I get this, Google unable to connect. Looks like a dinosaur, unable to connect.
Oh, and it goes, That's just, you want to kill the page. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Linda's got a point, though, Dennis. You might want to talk to Comcast first. You might want to put a support call into Comcast. Because, like I said, Just say what you're saying to us. Yeah, the client that I was talking to was out for 3 days. It so happened she was out over her son's birthday. The son had invited friends over, and they were going to watch X-Men on TV. And that just blew that out of the water. And she said she spent her son's birthday waiting for Comcast to come fix the problem. Apparently, when they updated their billing, they created new profiles for certain people. So the people who were on the old profile had to be switched over to the new. So it might be just another thing to check out.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But eventually, before next tax season, I want to get a new computer that, get lots of memory, maybe 64-bit, because I figured conservatively I'd probably waste an hour a day on just waiting for things to load. And
yeah, no, you don't want that.
It's especially since I'm online all the time, that if I'm waiting for something to respond or open up, or 30 seconds here, 60 seconds here, it adds up. I figure consider at least an hour to an hour and a half wasted because of not being able to, things run so slow, or having to reboot, or having my Chrome go down and have to, having it crash, and all the crashes with the shockwave flash and the whole bit. It's just. So I'm hoping that if I've got 4 gig of memory, and it's like about 3 years old computer, and I figure it's kind of on its last legs, and so I don't want to go into another tax season relying on.
No, you definitely do not want your computer to go down, whatever tax program you have. Although your tax program's SAS, isn't it?
Yeah, it's online, so that's not a problem. It's just.
But you have to have that fast access. The other thing is, my Time Warner cable has 3 different packages. They have slow, the medium, and the fast. Now, they don't call them that, but that's basically what they are. And I'm on the slow right now. And it's plenty fast enough for me because it's 10 times faster than the DSL I had before. But if you can use a faster, and you just find out what package, if anything,
But yeah, if I could just get an extra hour a day of productivity, that'd be.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of time a year when I could
get done faster, get more things done, larger billings, the whole bit.
Right. Right. Well, I have what I call 3 computers. My desktop that sits at home. All my client files stay there. And I'm more or less, I've been told I use it like a server. So I have my laptop, which I take to my clients, and I don't have client information on there because who knows what's going to happen with a laptop. It could get lost, it could get stolen. So that's the reason why I separate the laptop and the desktop. Desktop stays home. You know, account numbers, social security numbers, all of that stays confined on my home computer.
Right.
And I take my laptop out to my clients, and I can remote back to my home computer if I need to access any of that information. Well, now I have a tablet that I use almost exclusively for internet things and the applications. And like you said, Dennis, you just can't use a tablet the same way you can a desktop or a laptop.
That's right.
But it sure is very portable, and there are certain clients that I don't necessarily need my laptop. I can take my tablet when I go with me. And again, from the tablet, I can remote back to my desktop.
Well, this is my cell phone, which is fairly big for a cell phone. And it's kind of like a replacement tablet. I can carry this in my front pocket.
Yeah.
But again, it's like it's really hard to do productive work on it, you know, because
I can access things on my phone, but I can't see. And if I'm not productive on my tablet, I am super not productive on my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I can have emails forwarded, you know, and respond to the important ones. But other than that, if I'm really going to do something, I want to be able to have a tablet with some real estate that I can see and read.
Right.
When I had my office, I had my software and files were on my home computer, and I would log myself in from my office computer into the home computer, and so that's where I would do the work. The work was actually done on my home computer via, you know, and I was just using my office computer as kind of like a dumb terminal in a sense, just log in, and so I didn't have to worry about keeping client files on my. But when I moved back home, now I have. That's why I have two computers. Is that I just found it was more economical and cost effective just to work out of my home and just do remote rather than spend $350 a month for an office and internet, and only need it for meeting with clients during tax season. The rest was kind of a luxury.
Right, right. So we have like 5 minutes to go. Is there anything either of you would like to talk about before we end our session today?
Just trying to think.
I think we can probably end a little bit early if you want.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there was anything.
Did you go out Christmas shopping today?
Not at all. I do not do Black Friday at all.
I had to go out.
I have this is interesting. I have a city card that has a special built-in function called City Price Rewind. And if I buy something, they enter in all of my purchases into their computer, and their computer goes searching around the internet to see if it can find a better price for what I bought. And if it finds a better price within 30 to 60 days, it'll give me a refund of the difference.
Nice, nice.
So on Wednesday, I said to myself, well, that means if I use it Wednesday for something, that the price goes down on Friday.
You get money back.
So I don't know. But I have bought everything pretty much online, although I did go into a place called DSW, which is Discount Shoe Warehouse.
Okay.
And I was told that I should buy some Yellow Box sandals, and I bought these.
Oh, awesome! They're cute.
Flip-flops. They're very nice, but they have a nice
plain.
rhinestone thing, and they were like $44, but they were half price, so they were $22.
Nice.
So that
Got
was
yourself a little bling bling.
yeah, you know, just a little classier than my normal kick around LLB flip-flops with sailboats on them and that.
Well, I'm so very jealous that you can wear flip-flops right now. We're in boot season here.
I know. I'm sorry. Our temperature's like 80, 85. It's like, oh my God. But we're really praying that it's going to rain. It was supposed to rain Sunday night. Now it looks like it won't rain till Tuesday night. So
it's pouring rain up here.
So you could send some of your rain down south there, Dennis.
I had to go out shopping. I go to Costco for getting grocery. I tell you, it's like going on a scavenger hunt. If you've ever been to Costco, they keep moving stuff on you. I mean, they're in the same spot, you know. So it's kind of a waste of a good 15 minutes just trying to figure out where they moved it to, you know.
Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
They're just trying to throw it anywhere they can find space, and so you kind of have to figure out where they moved it.
It's crazy.
Part of the reason why they do that is you get used to what I call hunting what you want instead of shopping. In other words, you walk into Costco and you walk exactly where you need to go to buy what you buy. And if you move it on you, maybe you'll notice something new trying to find the old stuff that you wouldn't have known because you just don't even look anymore. You just go hunt it. I walked into DSW and bought these sandals, and I found a lady, and I said, I want to buy yellow box sandals. And she said, well, I don't think there are many left. But and we couldn't find any on the showroom floor, but she actually went out back when she realized what I was looking for, and she found me this.
Nice, nice.
Great. Her name was Jennifer, and when I checked out, I said, Jennifer is great, you know.
Shout out to Jennifer for good customer service.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter's shopping at Costco, and she says, as we're going down the aisle, says, "Are you seriously telling me we're just randomly going down these aisles looking for stuff?" And I said, "Sort of."
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. No, I haven't done all my shopping. I pretty much do online now, even my clothes shopping.
Yeah, my children have moved states away, so that's what I do, go online and have things shipped down there.
Oh, let me tell you a really neat site, because I decided this year to Gardeners.com.
Gardeners.com, you know, I think I just got a catalog for them.
Oh, they are wonderful. And the best, actually, the best one for dogs and cats is Dr. Foster and Smith.
Dr. Foster and Smith.
Yeah. They've got the best prices and the best deals. But Gardeners, what I ordered from Gardeners is I ordered, I think, a dozen amaryllises.
Okay.
Baskets. They were, if you got more than 6, they were $22.95 each, and then with shipping, you know, and I had most of them shipped to me because I'm going to give them to people. But one of them I had shipped to my daughter. I mean, my sister in Maryland, and I just sent people an email and listed the 6 colors to see. As a matter of fact, let me go see if I can get it and show it to you. It's really kind of neat.
I am showcasing the 2 sites that you're giving me, and while you do that,
okay.
I just saw from Larry, it says, can't get onto G+, to load, can't get G+ to load on laptop, he's watching on YouTube. Hi, Larry, we were wondering what happened.
Hi,
Larry. Larry was on before the show, and then he disappeared. So he had technical issues too.
All right, here we go. Let me see. We got this now. Hold on here. Oh, it's going to go back and around, but hold on. Let me share my screen. And these are some of the specials that are on. See them? Are they beautiful? Look at those.
Linda, I'm not seeing. Oh, yeah.
Well, now that's breakfast for the birds, but it's going to go through. There's the. These are some of the, but the next one should be the see the amaryllis on the right-hand side, all those different.
Oh, beautiful.
Then I decided those were the presents I was going to give to people. It's not And they're just very good. And because I had one that was going to go, they usually won't send them to more than one address, but I said, but I want to get if I'm buying 13, I want to get the low price on the 13th one too. And she said that's fine. I did it online, and I mean on the phone, and she put it in. So
Awesome.
So it worked out really, really well. But they have all kinds of great deals. And they're up in New Hampshire, so they may not have any power today. I don't know. Power was out there yesterday.
Oh, really? Boy, no wonder why no one can get on. Between no power, no website, no internet.
Yeah, it's like, that's right. You know, if anybody ever learns out how to take the electrical grid out, we're out of luck.
We sure are. Absolutely.
But yeah, no, those are both really good. The Dr. Foster's and Smith, they have really neat toys for dogs that have like have like 20 squeakers in them.
Oh, nice.
They're the cutest little. I've got an Oh, let me go get the alligator. You'll get a kick out of this, and then we'll say goodbye. Hold on here.
Well, I've got both sites on the showcase. If you want to look at them. So, I guess once Linda comes back, we'll end our Thanksgiving show, and hopefully next week, technical problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a minute there.
You're share. Okay, yeah. I'm sharing the screen.
Stop sharing. Hold on, I'm back here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, awesome.
Look at this. That.
You got run over.
It's $7.95.
Wow, that's an amazing price for that.
$7.95. And it has
16 squeakers. Bet Gracie loves it.
No, my dogs don't like it, but that's all right. I'm going to give it away. I sent a duck. I got one that's a duck. The one that's a duck is not as long as the alligator. That's an alligator, and they have like 3 or 4 of them. They've got a cow and a cat and
right,
things like that. But they're really cheap and they're really adorable.
Awesome. So Linda's Christmas advice.
I'm
Partners.com or Dr. Foster and Smith.
Something like that. Yeah, pretty cool. If you start typing that, you know, they fill it in right if you.
Well, I did showcase it, so it should come up. If people are looking at it, they should be able to find it. I'm not sure if the showcase comes up later on when you're watching the recording. I'll have to look and see. So
I don't know either, but when I first went to get this, what I kept seeing was the showcase.
Oh, okay. Okay, like I said, I did put both of them in the showcase, though.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, I guess that ends our hangout for today.
It does. Now, is next week a guest speaker?
No more guest speakers until January.
Got it.
And I guess I'm going to have to go look for some guest speakers in January. Yvette gave me the name of someone she thought we should watch a demo. I actually want to invite Tally. They're an expense, yep, and have them come demo.
Okay.
I'd like to bring Chris Wise back. Because when he did the demo, he was kind of fuzzy. I'd like to have a better demo with Chris and QBox. I was really thinking about the Falcon Expense, but I'm not sure where we're going with that. Misha said that she didn't really have a lot of good things to say. It really didn't work the way that it should, and all of that. We'll wait and see.
Sure, sure.
So, all right, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Have a great Thanksgiving weekend, and may it keep warming up instead of getting cold. Oh, well, if it could get cold here, it would be nice. 80s.
Have some of our cold.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
We'll pray for your router situation there.
Yes.
Okay,
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.